All right, family, listen. When you are going through and you realize that you are dealing with spiritual warfare, you see, and that you are under the possession, the curse, the spell, the hex of some external thing, well, while resisting the devil, he will flee. But if he's gotten a hold of you, well, inside of you is where he's going to be, hiding. And so what you have to do is you got to make that thing so uncomfortable that it could never want to be in you. And so you start to shed light on the enemy. All of those weird ass thoughts that go through your mind, vent them things out loud and then give that shit to God. See, that's what I do. I act my way through. I act my way through the expulsion of energies that don't belong with me, boo. And after I'm through, guess what they do? They flee like all devils, you see. This how we get the victim. But how do I know that it's the enemy? Because I'm in the Most High and the Most High is in me. If it's another energy, well, in me, it shouldn't be. But in the Most High, it has its place, you see. But we are individual cells in the body of God. So there is nobody who can come into me from outside. The only one that could ever be inside of you is the one that you're married to, boo. And so if any entity is coming into you, well, you got to ask yourself how it came through. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to accuse nobody of what they might do. I'm just telling you a few simple truths. So what you have to do is understand that if there's a crack and a snare, my friends, you got to patch that thing. You got to let it be or let it go. So cut them cords from all them people that's around you, yo. I mean, let it be that you on an island, you see. If there's no one else there, it should just be that I am in me. If it's any other energy, well, then you know it's the devil and let his ass flee. If you listen to yourself and you really hear you, boo, you gonna know if it's some negative energy attached to you. The abundance of your mouth is what your heart speaks. If the words coming out your mouth don't match your heart, you see. If you find yourself cursing, venting, and screaming, but that's not really your natural energy, then you know you dealing with your enemy. Time for you to break free, you see. I've given examples. I mean, I've acted out damn near everything. I'm making my way through so that I can show you, coaching you through the dark, you see. I don't want you to be a victim of your enemy's tyranny when all you gotta do is break yourself free. Now, your way might not be the same way as me, but it doesn't have to be. All you have to do is identify the way that you can fight your enemy. This is spiritual warfare, you see. Ain't no rules when it's coming up against the enemy. And don't let nobody tell you that you can't use the enemy's tools. Only a fool will not use a tool that's put right in front of them, boo. You gotta do whatever you gotta do. We here to win, my friend. Come on. Listen, one of the biggest tricks of the enemy is to make you believe that you gotta be something that he said you gotta be. But is it his judgment that you succumb to? Or do you stand and wait for the judgment of the Most High, you see? See, you cannot allow your enemy to make you believe you gotta be better than anything. Well, hell, why is he not being all that he can be? At the end of the day, if you come over here with that bullshit, then you're gonna get that bullshit from me. See, we just mirror images, you see. Don't get mad if you don't like what you see. If you want a better picture coming from me, then you gotta bring a better picture for me to see. Otherwise, I'm gonna match you with that motherfucking energy. And I ain't got to reduce myself, you see. I can stand in my being, but I can make you believe any motherfucker's thing. At the end of the day, as long as I sent my intent the right way, what the fuck the enemy could do to me? God know my intent, he know my heart, you see. And he knows when I'm acting, so out of my mouth, well, I'm just an actor on the stage, you see. I'm a character, I'm playing a game, you see. And God would never hold that shit against me. Come on. See, baby, you gotta remember that this is war. Now, the enemy will have you thinking that, acting as if you up inside the church house while he whooping your ass like a whore. At the end of the day, you can't let him do that no more. You gotta remember, we are at war. Everything is fair in love and war. You can't sit here and let the enemy make you believe you gotta be a certain way. Don't you know that's how he beat the father, mother, sister, and brother out of you on any given day? You gotta wake up to these here realities, because if you keep on trying to act like the way they say you should be, no, you gotta be everything you need to be. You're trying to get through. I mean, you're fighting a war against invisible enemy. You understand what I'm saying, my friends? It does not matter how you appear to be. You got to get past this enemy. And then you can be as good and pious and beautiful as you want to be. But while you right there battling with that enemy, you got to be whatever you got to be. If you think God going to say you can't fight the war with the weapons that you need, you're absolutely out your mind. And you going to succumb to your enemy indeed. Come on. Yes, dear hearts, I'm coaching you through the dark of the light, you see. This is spiritual warfare, and I want to make sure you can get it right, my dear. Now, the way that I'm showing you, well, that's just the way to do. All I need you to do is pick up the principles, boo, and then you use them the way you need to do for you. Only you and that I am inside of you know the best way for you to be. I'm just showing you a way to get through and whoop that mother father's enemy. See, ain't an enemy on the planet gonna be able to get away with shit with me. Cause I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do. I'm gonna get up, get over, get down, go through whatever I got to go through. But I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna whoop that enemy ass no matter what he try to do. He cannot beat me. You see, that nigga ain't got no power. So I resist his dumb ass, and the ones on the surface gotta flee. But if ever your enemy get inside, you see, you got to fight fire with fire, baby. Burn them motherfucking grits. You don't owe that motherfucking shit. Come on, and come on. Okay, boo, it's just like this. The enemy gonna try to make you fall for a lot of tricks. See, if the enemy want to paint a picture that you crazy, boo, this is fucking make-believe. Let him believe anything he wants to. If you know you're not crazy, well, then those words really don't belong to you. But in the land of make-believe, you can act like anything you want to. And if it's going to throw your enemy off to make him believe that what he's doing is working on you, well, then you do what you got to do. See, I'll be as crazy as a fox, you see. At the end of the day, I understand everything that's happening. But if I make them believe it's something wrong with me, well, then they think that I'm just cray-cray. See, they make a lot of mistakes because they don't believe I can see. And so I just watch my enemy unfold right in front of me, showing me every move that he's making, you see. And as crazy as I want to act, well, crazy I can never be. I'm inside of that I am, and that I am is inside of me. And right now, I know I got the enemy running, and that bitch done set his tracks, and that motherfucker just now decided he got to flee. Come on. And these are the ways of modern day war. Fighting the invisible fight. I mean, it's a war that has never been fought before. Not publicly, you see, not in front of everybody. Yes, I am fighting the enemy in front of everybody's face. It does not matter how I act, you see. I told you I'm thespian, so please just follow along with me. Don't take nothing I say seriously. I am coaching you so that you can see there is a way to whoop your enemy's ass and make that motherfather flee. If he don't want to go, well, he ain't gonna be not inside of me, cause ain't nowhere in the world I'm gonna miss my victory fucking around with no enemy. So it's time to get up, get down, get over, get under. It does not matter how you do. All you gotta do is make sure you don't go asunder. Time to stand up, and that I am, you see, the highest I and I, that's the one you wanna be. If you found yourself less than, well, it's time to come up with me. Come on. Now one last thing, babies, before I leave. I need you to understand that while thespian as I might be, when I'm acting, I bet you I'm exposing the enemy. The law of correspondence says that, well, when I put information out, if somebody corresponds with me, well, then there's the other energy. So who's corresponding? And when you can see, you recognize just who is who. Yes, that truly is your enemy. No matter how you don't want it to be, it doesn't matter. This is about accepting reality. Acceptance is the path of God, you see. If you can't accept what is really happening, well, then you're going to be trapped in a fallacy. Ain't no way you can ever be free. The only way you get free, you see, is by way of the truth. And so I tell real, unadulterated truths humanely. And if you can't handle the truth, baby, then you can't handle me. It's time to come along. Come on with me. We gonna beat this enemy. Resist his ass, well, that's good enough. If he's on the outside, he has to flee. But inside, it's a different fight, you see. Coaching you through the dark of the light, baby. See, when it was real dark, there was none of this going on, you see. But by way of light, we began to see. And energy started to get big eyes, you see. Wanted things that was outside of me. Now, how could that possibly be? Since we just one body, you see. I don't care if it's a planet, the stars, the moon, the universe, whatever, the megaverse, the metaverse, the it all belongs to that I am, you see. There is no thing that exists outside of me. And if you have not found yourself inside, you see, well then, You are on the wrong team. Time to come out from amongst them. Go inside of you see. Find the real me. I mean, that is the treasure trove. It is where you find your destiny. It is where you find your personal treasure. I mean, you really do already have everything. You should stop trying to get it from somebody else and get it from you, okay? Come on, come on, come on.